My name is Rocco and I'm Lena's brother.
I am Dante Schorge and I am Lena's brother.
I'm Sharon Schorge, Lena's mom.
Hi, I'm Lena Schorge. I'm a senior at Brookline High School, and this is my documentary about quarantine life. When I first heard the news about COVID-19, it had just hit China, and I wasn't too concerned about it because there were no cases in the US yet. That quickly changed, and I remember one of the last times before school was canceled, I was at the gym, and I was just watching the news, and it was really scary to see all of the statistics coming in, and I never thought that it would get this bad, but look where we are. So when I first heard the news about school closing, I was so excited. For 2 weeks, no homework, no schoolwork, no tests, and it was right in the middle of March, which is when school starts getting really difficult. So I was really excited. I was thinking, oh, this is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be called Coronacation. But like, after the 2 weeks was over, school was canceled once again for even longer until like mid-April. And I was like, wait a minute. I guess this is good news, but now homework is mandatory. Yeah, it was really stressful. But once again, I was like, you know what, we're still going back. I'll still get May. And then they canceled school for like the rest of the year. And being a senior, that was really hard. I felt like life was just getting easy and fun. So for that to be taken from me, I was pretty upset.
When I heard the news of COVID-19, at first I didn't really believe it. I thought it was just an overreaction, but here we are.
My first reaction to hearing about the news was, I think in November, and I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like a tiny little virus happening in a Wuhan market, and I didn't think it would be that big of a deal. You know, I was enjoying my own life. I didn't really think about it too much, so that was my first reaction to hearing.
My first reaction when hearing about COVID-19 was that it was a disease in China and would never affect any of us here in the United States. My first reaction when I heard about schools were closed, it was a reality check that this is real and it is affecting the United States, and it will get worse and our cases will grow. And yes, I was very disappointed that schools were closed. I thought at some point that they would reopen before the end of the school year.
I would say the most difficult part for me staying indoors all day is I'm so used to walking to school every day, a mile there, a mile back, and I walk to the gym every day before this started, so I'm very used to walking outdoors. I always used to make sure like to get a good walk in every day. I still have walked every single day, but that's just because of my coffee addiction. My Dunkin' Donuts is about a mile walk there and back, which I still have been doing. Staying indoors all day has caused some tense situations with my family, and at points you want it to be over, so it kind of sucks.
The most difficult part of staying indoors for me has been I haven't been able to play baseball, which is my passion, and I've been working all year for it, so that's disappointing.
The most difficult part of staying indoors all day is probably the boredom, not a lot to do. You're used to going out, shopping, working out, playing sports, doing whatever, but now you just have to stay in the house. You have to spend more time, either watching movies or playing games, and everything feels more repetitive and it's harder to do.
The most difficult part about staying indoors all day is the feeling of boredom, that there isn't anywhere we can go. There aren't any stores that are open. There aren't any baseball games to attend. It's a much slower life, just boring.
I have been keeping pretty busy this quarantine. I have made a makeup Instagram account. I made like 9 or 10 videos. I used that for like a week or a week and a half, 2 weeks. I was doing that. In the beginning, I was going on 5-mile walk every single day for like 3 weeks. I would walk to Dunkin' Donuts, then walk by the Charles, and I kept doing that until they made us wear masks, and I just couldn't do that walk with a mask on. It was just too difficult. For another 2 weeks, I was making a song almost every single day, recording, writing, and singing a song. I also went through this period where I would make a short film for the app TikTok. I would make different short films for there and Instagram. I made some drawings. I wrote screenplays. I've written a lot of songs. That was my recent thing. I don't really know what my thing right now is. I'm still working on it.
Something positive that has come out of staying indoors has been spending time with my family. I don't spend a lot of time with my family during the normal school year, so it's been nice to see them a lot.
Something positive that I've been able to accomplish with all my time indoors is I've been able to kind of refocus what goals I'd like to accomplish this summer, what things I need to get done, being able to get a better idea of like whether it's workouts or going on runs or playing sports, whatever, just being able to figure out what I like to do.
Okay, something that I've been able to accomplish with all of my time indoors is basically tackling that list of house projects that have been around for a long time, such as cleaning out some closets and shredding documents, painting.
Quarantine has affected my overall mindset and mood in a pretty negative way, which is probably pretty obvious. I made a 1 second a day this year. This is my 3rd year doing it. And I put all the clips together from the beginning of January through quarantine hit, and looking at the difference between that and my videos now, you can just tell how different my mindset is. I feel like I'm still in a pretty good frame of mind. Also, next week is my birthday and I can't have a party. I haven't kept in contact with my friends much either. And like, it's just gonna suck.
Quarantine has affected my mindset and mood in a very detrimental way. It's really hard to be super happy about life when you can only do so much. Next, I go off to college and think like I'm an independent guy and I can do whatever I want and having a blast, and all of a sudden everything's very whittled down and I can't really do anything, and I just kind of have to sit inside and do my homework, which really sucks. So my mindset definitely suffered.
The quarantine has affected my overall mindset and mood, initially in a very negative way. I was very upset. I was very mad that schools are closed. I was mad that Lena's not having a graduation and a prom, and Rocco's not having any baseball games this year, and it's just a shock to the system. So I was very upset and angry, but I also trying to look at the positive side of things, that we've got to spend more time together as a family, and we're having dinner every night together, watching movies, playing board games. So on the positive side is more family time without the distraction.
I guess one thing I'm looking forward to once this is all over is being able to go on walks again. I really miss going to the gym. Hopefully seeing friends. Hopefully I get somewhat of a summer to make up for some of this.
After quarantine is over, I'm very excited to get outside, hang with friends, play baseball hopefully, and yeah, I'm excited for life to go back to normal.
One thing I'm looking forward to after quarantine is over is seeing my friends again, hanging out, being able to do things that I used to do. Obviously things won't ever be exactly the same, but I'll be excited to just hang out with people and not be, scared to touch other people or give them a hug or, give them a handshake. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm sorry, one thing I'm looking forward to after the quarantine ends is a big Corona party.